Today's lesson is 11.2, direct and inverse variation. And we'll be solving problems with both these different types of variations. Now, direct variation was gone over sometimes around when we learned slope, so inverse variation is going to be the big new thing, but we will go over both equally during this lesson as a good review for what the variation was. Now, in general, variation means, like if we have y varies whatever, usually that means y equal k, and then depending on if it's direct or inverse, it'll tell us where x is. So direct variation, y varies directly with x means y equals kx. So typically what will happen in these problems is that they will tell us y equals this value, x equals this value, and they want us to find the constant of variation. The constant of variation is a fancy word for k. They will also ask for the equation of variation. Once we solve for k, we just need to fill it back in and say, oh, k is 3, y equals 3x would be our equation of variation. So the other part is, why is it called direct? As one value increases, the other increases, meaning they go the same direction. As y gets larger, x gets larger. If y gets smaller, x gets smaller. Another little note here is generally once we solve, we'll divide by x on both sides. So k in this equation will equal y over x. Now why this generally isn't taught or put in is because inverse will have a different k equals. So when y equals kx, you divide by x on both sides to solve for k. Inverse variation is flip, right? This means y varies inversely with x, means y equals k divided by x, or k over x. This is opposite. If y gets larger, that means x gets smaller. Or opposite, right? If x gets larger, y gets small, right? A number divided by a larger number would give us a smaller number. The first problems of the lesson are stated, y varies directly with x, solve for k, and write the equation of variation. Okay, so what this first little sentence means is this tells us what our equation is going to be. Y varies. So y equals k directly says x is next to that k. So y equals kx is the equation for these two problems. So then they tell us x is 4, y is 8. So I'm just going to fill in 8 here, 4 here. So now we have 8 equals k times 4. Solve for k. Divide by 4 on both sides so that we get just 1k equals 8 divided by 4 is 2. So k equals 2 is this part. Check. Now write the equation of variation. Means we're going to rewrite this piece here, and we're going to plug k equals 2 in. So y equals 2x, and that's it. That is all there is to these problems. Next one, y equals kx, x is 9, y is 3. So 3 equals k times 9. Divide by 9 on both sides, and then 3 over 9 needs to be simplified. That would equal, divide by 3 gives us 1, divide by 3 gives us 3, and we get k is 1/3. And the equation then is y equals 1/3 x. X is still on top, or I just write it to the right of our k, but k can be a fraction. Moving on, y varies directly with x. Again, this may change by slide. So again, we've got y varies directly with x, solve for k, and write the equation of variation. So direction's the same as the last one. You still have to remember, directly means k times x. So y equals kx. X is 6, y is 15. So 15 equals k times 6. Dividing by 6, well, 15 over 6 simplifies, but it's not a nice simple 2 or 3 or 4. So I'm going to rewrite it here, and then let's see, divide by 3, divide by 3, I'm going to get 5 over 2, and there's k. K you want to be simplified. Just don't rewrite 15 over 6. If you have a calculator, you can type it in and use your fraction button, and it will simplify for you. And then we need to write the equation. So y equals 5 over 2 times x. Next, x is 4, y is 44. 44 equals k times 4. Divide by 4 on each side. 44 divided by 4 is 11. So k is 11, and y equals 11x. As you can see, as you get a pattern of how these works, directly means we end up dividing to solve. Just simplify to get k equals and then plug it back in. One more set for directly. Y varies directly with x, and solve for k and write the equation of variation. Okay, so I'm going to make it a little bit brighter here. So we got y equals kx again from that underlined above. And now we've got 18 equals 12, k times 12, dividing by 12 on both sides. Again, this is our work step. So 18 over 12 is, divided by 6 is 3, divided by 6 is 2. So I got 3 over 2, and y equals 3 over 2 x. One more, 6 equals k times 9, dividing by 9 on both sides. 6 over 9 equals 2/3, divided by 3, divided by 3, and y equals 2/3 x. Next, we have y varies inversely with x. So now our equation changed, right? Inversely with x. Okay, so now in this case, y is not the same as it was before. Y does not equal k times x. Y is going to equal k divided by x. Okay, still solving for k and writing the equation. So here's how it works. 9 equals k over 5. You can write this as a proportion, so it looks like a cross multiply, or the general idea is it's like we have 1/5 k. To get rid of 1/5, we want 1k, so you actually multiply by 5. So this denominator is going to multiply by the y. So basically what happens here is we're going to get k, I'm going to write this over here, is going to equal x times y. So these x and y values will multiply together here to get us our k value. So 5 times 9, k is 45, and y equals 45 over x, right? Once we're done with this first one, we rewrite that with a blank. This is just to solve for k. Once we solve for k, we plug it back in. Y equals 45 over x. There could be more answers, right? Maybe 15 equals 45 over 3, right? So this is just to get the k solved for and to write what it would look like as an equation. Next one. We got x is 12, y is 4. 4y equals k over 12. And then we're going to multiply by the 12 to get it over here. 4 times 12 is 48. So k is 48, and y equals 48 over x. Next one, we've got another varies inversely, right? Inversely means x is on the bottom. Y equals k over x. Well, y is 3, x is 4. So 3 equals k over 4 times 4 to the 3. 3 times 4 is 12. And then rewriting, y equals 12 over x. Next one, try it on your own. Hopefully you get the pattern at this point. And hopefully you pause for that. Unpausing, we get 10 equals k over 6. 10 times 6 is 60, so k is 60, and y is 60 over x. One last set, and if you get it, again, feel free to unveil it here. We got y varies inversely with x. Go ahead and pause and try to write what you think the answers will be for these next two. And now that you've unpaused, we've got 4 equals k over 9. 9 times 4 is 36, so y is 36 over x. And 12 is k over 2. 12 times 2 is 24, so k is 24, and y is 24 over x. And that wraps up today's lesson. Again, send me an email or a chat or whatever you need if you have questions on this, and I would be glad to help you out.